money, but we were happy. We had our work and one another. We didn't have the money to go to concerts or movies or to buy new records, but we played the ones we had over and over.
Get ready for the best tell-all tales and dirty little secrets the stars have to offer. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today I'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity biographies, autobiographies, and memoirs.
Here's the cool part. Throughout the book, at random times, you'll get to choose what happens to you next.
For this list, we're looking at the juiciest and our most satisfying books that take us inside the lives of celebrities and other well-known individuals. They can be sports figures, musicians, actors, or TV personalities. They just need to be famous. The only celebrities we're excluding are comedians. Considering books written by comedians have gotten particularly popular in recent years, they warrant a list of their own.
Well, I have a terrible past. For 3 years now, I've been living with a saxophone player. I forgive you.
Number 10, Little Girl Lost, Drew Barrymore with Todd Gold.
It would be kind of easier to talk without my teeth.
What are you talking about?
In Tinseltown, there's no shortage of lost childhoods. The life of a child star comes at the expense of many formative experiences every kid should get to have. Little Girl Lost is a testament not only to the wild world of showbiz, but also the fact that no one is immune. Not even a little girl.
What were you doing at bars at 9?
A lot of the time it was for parties that I was invited to. A lot of the time I would walk up and they would be like, oh, it's little Drew Barrymore. Come right in, good publicity, you know?
Published in 1990, when Drew Barrymore was just 15 years old, it makes for a shocking read. The 7-year-old girl who stole hearts in E.T. was smoking and drinking 2 years later at the age of 9, before moving on to marijuana at 10 and cocaine at 12.
Do you remember getting stoned at 9?
Oh, sure.
And was it fun?
Uh-huh.
This book was for many young girls in the 90s what the movie 13 was for teens in the 2000s.
I wonder how much of this you had to swallow for it to kill you.
Number 9, Scar Tissue, Anthony Kiedis with Larry Sloman.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All. I'll close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share.
Scar Tissue. This book could have easily been called Death Wish. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have always been known for their wild antics on and off stage. But no amount of rambunctious behavior can mentally prepare readers for the harsh realities of Anthony Kiedis' life of substance abuse as documented here.
During that point in my life was a very sad time, and everything that was beautiful and precious and sacred to me sort of took a back seat. As my need for this chemical dependency just got more and more disgusting and insane.
Every successful rehabilitation is followed by relapse. Not even the loss of his friend and fellow founding Chili Pepper Hillel Slovak to heroin could keep the frontman clean. Like with Drew Barrymore, Scar Tissue revealed Kiedis to have had a very adult childhood, and a very drug-fueled childhood. This memoir adds all new layers of meaning and weight to Kiedis' lyrics, and is a must-read for any fan.
Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown, forgot about my love.
Number 8, I, Tina, Tina Turner with Kurt Loder. Many call her the Queen of Rock and Roll, and it's a title she's more than earned. Tina Turner may have taken her last name from her musical partner and abusive husband Ike Turner, but her stardom by far eclipses the men with whom she once shared her life. In I, Tina, she doesn't shy away from discussing the abuse. She presents it to readers with absolute honesty, acknowledging that at times she feared him, while simultaneously refusing to paint herself as a victim.
So you weren't even his girlfriend? That's the point I want everybody to know.
It was just control. I had sex with everybody around him, Oprah. Everybody's wife.
The autobiography also chronicles Tina's comeback and rise to superstardom as a solo artist in the 1980s. The best-selling book was adapted into the critically acclaimed film What's Love Got to Do with It in 1993.
Oh, Jackie, I know what it's like to have your own blood walk out on you. And I just can't walk out.
Number 7, Stories I Only Tell My Friends, an autobiography. Rob Lowe.
In my 50s, I can look back and have all of these experiences that maybe other people might not have been so lucky enough to get.
Most teen idols experience a massive fall from grace at some point, but few manage to come back from it.
Once you've done some work, then it's time to lighten up and have fun with it.
It may have taken Lowe years to recover from the sex tape scandal, a scandal at a time when sex tapes didn't translate to reality TV shows, but he eventually did. Stories I Only Tell My Friends is an incredibly appropriate title, considering what life in Malibu was like for an up-and-coming, good-looking, and charming actor in the 1980s. From his childhood in Ohio to his role as a founding member of the Brat Pack, to his more humble adult life as a family man, Rob Lowe's transformative life story makes for one hell of a ride.
I loved coaching the teams. I loved going on the field trips. I'm the guy dressing up in the caveman outfit for the kids' birthday parties.
Number 6. Not That Kind of Girl.
You don't have AIDS, do you?
No, do you?
Lena Dunham isn't that kind of celebrity author. A successful actress, writer, producer, and director, Dunham's early film work foreshadowed the type of material she'd later explore in her hit series Girls. The life of contemporary 20-somethings presented in the most unglamorous, self-critical of lights.
I don't want to freak you out, but I think that I may be the voice of my generation.
Dunham's career has been marked by her staunch refusal to adopt the role Hollywood loves to prescribe to young women. Her book is a reflection of that individuality. It stirred up a fair amount of controversy, including allegations of sexual assault and her own experience exploring sexuality at the age of 7 with her younger sister.
And you know, I spent a lot of my career trying to break down some of the negative forces that the media exerts on women.
But Dunham has rarely avoided controversy. She consistently prioritizes artistic examinations of real life, and this book continues that refreshing form of expression.
You deserve a
Die, like Flaubert and a Garrett. Don't look at me.
Number 5. Chronicles Volume 1. Bob Dylan.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to.
In 2004, Bob Dylan released Volume 1 of his planned 3-part memoir. But in a very George R.R. Martin-like move, he's kept fans waiting much too long for the next installment.
I used to have things of shade.
Although every few years he clarifies that it's still in the works, over a decade later, the odds aren't looking good. Had it been another forgettable celebrity biography, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But Chronicles provided tons of new information and insight into the life of the notoriously private musician. And while his experimental prose poetry book Tarantula may have been a little alienating for the average reader, the writing in Chronicles was met with widespread praise. In fact, it was included on the list of finalists for the National Books Critics Circle Award.
We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue.
Number 4. Not My Father's Son, a memoir. Alan Cumming.
I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
Scottish actor Alan Cumming is a true thespian. While his mainstream movie roles tend to be light-hearted performances, appearing in the likes of Spy Kids and X2 X-Men United, he has more than earned the respect of his peers in the theater and film industry, with dozens of awards to his credit. In Not My Father's Son, Cumming delves into a childhood filled with psychological abuse and physical violence at the hands of his father.
My dad used to, it starts off with this scene where he kind of shaved my head with a pair of sheep shears, like grabbed me and took me in a violent rage.
Asked to appear on a television series exploring genealogy, Cumming was later forced to revisit the childhood he has long left behind. And with it came startling revelations.
I found out my grandfather died playing Russian roulette, and my father told me I wasn't his son, all within a week.
Cumming is a charming, incredibly intelligent man. And even when sharing the darkest aspects of his past, he manages to find warmth.
We were ashamed of what had happened, and then now it's actually a really liberating thing to put it out into the world and share it with people, and to think, you know, this is not something we need to be ashamed of.
Number 3, Open, an autobiography. Andre Agassi.
18 years of age, he has met his first major test and passed it with flying colors.
Tennis, it's not exactly the kind of sport you equate with excess, the rock star lifestyle, or bad boys.
Have you never said a swear word before? Have you said a swear word in your life?
Well, it's not a bad
No. Can you answer my question?
No.
So you've never sworn in your life?
No, it's your job to answer.
No, but No, it's not. He actually asked me the question.
But the combined antics of Nick Kyrgios, Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, and the great Andre Agassi certainly prove otherwise.
I don't expect anybody to be able to process that in a hurry, especially if you're just putting it in context of a headline. And, you know, this book needs to get out.
Agassi was once the world's #1 tennis player and has been called one of the greatest in the sport's history. In Open, which was co-written by J.R. Moehringer, he reveals his life as one centered around a singular conflict, a tennis-based life, and his deep, lifelong hatred of the game.
I spent many years angry and disappointed at myself, but not telling the story in its full entirety wasn't an option for me.
He takes the reader through a childhood of brutal training, an adolescence of rebellion and shockingly crystal meth use, and baldness at the height of his career. It's a harrowing journey that hits you with the same ferocity as Agassi's legendary returns.
As difficult as many of those years were, they were important looking back.
Number 2, Life. Keith Richards with James Fox.
When will those clouds all disappear?
People have joked about Keith Richards' apparent immortality for decades. Considering the legendary Rolling Stones guitarist has spent most of his adult life tempting fate, it's particularly funny that he chose the word life as the title for his work. But that's what makes this such a great read. Keith Richards may have led an unbelievably intense and often self-destructive life, but there are few who can claim to have done more living than him.
And suddenly some paranoid junkie would scream at their coming, and a couple of times bullets would thud into the wall, and just, forget it, I'll cold turkey.
As much as the book explores his tumultuous life, it gives equal if not greater attention to his true passion and calling, music.
Certainly weren't in it for the money. You know, we wanted to preach the gospel of rhythm and blues. It's like idealistic kids, you know.
This uninhibited memoir conveys one simple truth. Few have loved making music as passionately as this man.
I've been blessed, man, and I'll play as long as I can get away with it. That's all I can do.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Now that I am actually smack dab in the middle of my own third act, I realize I've never been happier.
You're a single girl, you're a good-looking girl, big boobs, pretty hair. You go out there and you have oral sex with rich men. That is what listen to it, yes!
So I'm through with love. I've locked my heart, I'll keep my feelings there. I've stocked my heart with icy frigid air.
How common is sexual abuse in Hollywood?
Well, I mean, sexual abuse or pedophilia?
Pedophilia
is
two
what,
different. Yes, pedophilia.
Because, you know, women get taken advantage of all the time.
Right.
I look back now in my life, older obviously, and now can relate so much more to him because I've lived life more.
I felt it was my duty to go in, and I found Janice. I found myself again by going in there and just really talking to people.
Her engagement to Prince Charles came in February 1981, and it was the wedding of every girl's dream when she walked down the aisle at St. Paul's Cathedral.
And I think about it now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a boy, I think I'm gonna name him after you.
Number 1, Audition a Memoir, Barbara Walters.
I was a very serious little girl. My father said I had an inferiority complex. He probably was right. I read all the time.
A true pioneer in the world of journalism, Barbara Walters fought to make a name for herself working for an NBC affiliate in the 1950s and became one of the greatest journalists in the history of the industry.
Do you feel funny crossing the Bay of Pigs with an American?
With friends American. With friend American.
American friends, yes.
Friendship relation.
In Audition, Walters revealed that she quit an early job as a producer due to pressure to marry the boss, talked about Frank Sinatra's 35-year hatred of her, and the political disagreements between the View host that led to Rosie O'Donnell's departure.
I'd like to make it very clear, and then we'll go on with our hot topics, that Rosie was never fired, and there was no desire to have her leave the show.
Walters has interviewed the world's most important leaders, musicians, actors, and notorious criminals over the years.
Why did you kill John Lennon?
I thought by killing him, I would acquire his fame.
But found it was always an uphill battle, a life of auditioning for everything she ever wanted. From one of the most captivating individuals to ever step in front of the camera, it's a fascinating read.
Finish this sentence for me.
Barbara Walters is
soon to leave television. And if she is truthful, she will miss it.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite book to ever take a look inside the life of a celebrity? For more tell-all top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Ms. Mojo.
Ready, set, go. Neil Patrick Harris' Choose Your Own Autobiography has 289 pages. It weighs exactly 1.3 pounds and contains exactly 79,483 words. It's been translated into 23 different languages.